Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about, some notes I had taken, who knows when, months ago, about dysfunctional families. And it's a variety, and I want to get through some of these notes. I have plenty that I've taken different topics concerning dysfunctional families. So, let me get started on this. Okay, pardon the background, but during this time I'm not going anywhere. So anyway, the first one, and I might not even remember what I was writing these down for or what I meant. They're just little highlights. And this one was about life chances, and I put follow their lead. Well, that's what dysfunctional families often think, is that you should do as they say, as they are. Well, when you're a child, yes. Okay, you need to mind your parents. And unless they're asking you to do something illegal and you know it is, you know what I'm saying. If it's a good family, mind your parents. But you have to mind your parents anyway. But when you get older, they expect you to go into what they think that you should go into as far as career, or where to live, or how to live, which church you go to. Anything, they expect you to just follow their lead. Political party, okay? Political ideologies. And if you don't, they try to start problems for you, and so on down that line. Okay, and also I wrote that they discourage growth. They do. They infantilize you. They treat you like a child. They just want to keep you where they want you, just like I said, what they want you to do, and all that. And let's see. Let me see what else I said. Hold others to what you can do. Don't. I don't know what I meant by that note. Yeah. But anyway, I was talking about the life chances now. In sociology, life chances are basically not everybody, how you hear people say, well, they should pull themselves up from their bootstraps. Whoever they are, they're talking about. And one of the first things I learned, when I was taking classes long ago, I've got a master's in sociology. I have degrees in both psychology and sociology. But way back whenever I was studying as an undergrad, not a graduate, but as an undergrad, we learned this, how people say this about everybody should pull themselves up from their bootstraps. And what sociologists would say is not everybody can afford boots to have bootstraps. Okay? They can't afford bootstraps. And that's the difference, is that some people who, have money can achieve more than those who can't, who don't have money. They can't achieve as much. It's much more difficult. There are rare exceptions and everything, but it is made more difficult for them because they don't have the same, a lot of people call it silver spoon in their mouth. Okay, they don't have that. They may have never even seen a silver spoon, And often, where I guess I was going with this was that in a dysfunctional family, they might not provide you the means for your life chances. They might try to keep you intentionally, like I was saying earlier, to keep you down. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to, go beyond what they have done. Now some people have been in dysfunctional families when it was the opposite. They wanted you to achieve more because they wanted, the parents and grandparents even, so that you can provide for them. Okay. Or it could be that, they just want to get their sense of worth through you. So many different combinations it could be. But it's just not going to be normal, okay? Or shouldn't say normal, I want to say functional. Yeah. Okay, now that was all under life chances. And then I did one about young married couples and their dysfunctional parents, how they do. Now, it could be a young married couple and they both came from dysfunctional families, and their parents are all dysfunctional, and their relationship is, the parents are too involved in this young couple's relationship and their marriage. Whether they have kids or not, they try to still rule over their this young couple. Yeah, some of them don't. Some parents don't want to let go, and that's what your job is, to raise these children so they can go out and, do their own thing and live their own lives. But some parents just don't want to let that go. And like I mentioned earlier, I've written down infantilization. They treat them like like they're still children. They're children, young children, and like sometimes I'm reading my notes here. Sometimes, like, whatever they achieve, the young couple achieves something, like they buy a new car. This had happened to me. And they buy a new car, and one of the parents, whatever side, will say something like, it's not big enough. It's not big enough for them. It's not the style they want. It's not the whatever they want. They want. It's not the couple, but that parent or parents. Yeah. Okay, and basically I've written down that they act as though they still rule. The parents. Yeah. It can be not. It doesn't have to be all of them. It could be one. And they still treat them, they still infantilize them. They treat them like children. And they just don't allow for any kind of independence. The married couple. Now, you can even consider this, think about this as someone who's single and leaves, and the parent or parents still do that to them. And then when they're dating, they want to get all involved in who you're dating, and they have to approve of who you're dating when you're an adult, a young adult, or whatever. It can go on for a lifetime, really. Okay, to move on to another one, I am not sure what I was writing about on this one, what I was thinking about. It was about when you fight back. Yeah, that can cause all kinds of problems in a dysfunctional family, but in mature adults, these days what people just say is to go no contact with a dysfunctional family. That is, in a way, fighting back. Saying, I'm not taking it anymore. You're not listening to me. You're treating me like a child. I'm still your child. You're trying to control my life, rule my world, keep me down, whatever it is. A combination. And, mature adults, if they have that yet in them, they will just say, no, I've had enough. I'm going my own way. Goodbye. And they go contact. Some have to go low contact. It just depends on if they were able to get out, And somebody's got to mow their lawn. So, okay. So lawn service, and the guy has 2 mowers, just regular mowers, lawn mowers, and it's doing them both at the same time. That was neat. But anyway, so pardon the noise. Let's see. Like I said, I just have a little highlights that's put taking from poorest. And then that is, I have seen this in my life. If you're in this kind of dysfunctional family where, say, your siblings, you're all adults, say, and your siblings are this type that they will, what is the word I'm looking for? Exploit everything. They will take from any way. Like, say you're going through a rough time in your life, they'll find some way to take even more from you, or try to take from you. Seriously, there goes my nervous laughter again. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. That they will exploit every opportunity, and that can go into something like inheritance, find some way to get it all to themselves. I've seen that. And I had to use an example of something, but I don't know what that was about. And, in these kinds of family, you might have one who's doing that. Say it's the one who has the best job and makes the most money, but that one is, it's been in my life to see that one is quite, in any kind of situation, the one who makes a lot of money is often one who is the most narcissistic. Their behavior is the most narcissistic. That part of exploiting others. Yes, that's what I've seen. Then you have their flying monkeys. And in a family, it could be one of your siblings, your parents, whatever. Grandparents, for that matter. Who's ever alive. It could be your nieces and nephew. And they will just, protect that person. And then they come after you. So, and no matter whether, say it's the wealthiest ones trying to take away from you. Somehow, some way. Yeah. And these flying monkeys, they help them out. Okay? And here's another part of this also that, um, now, these are not always just my experiences, but I know this, that they can say you're the one who's fighting back against this and you're saying, no, this, here, look at this behavior, this is wrong. They will make you feel basically wrong for it, guilty, somehow try to shame you, make you see that you're the one who's wrong for saying it, or pointing it out, when no, you have good reason to. Okay, even more noise. To move on to another one, let's see what this one was about. Dysfunctional family and nostalgia. I've done a video about this. You're going to have memories and they weren't all bad. The people, like you're in this dysfunctional family and say most of them, your siblings, parents, whatever, were bad. But you still have some good memories. So don't let them take that. I did a video of don't let them take those good memories from you. To have it all tainted, your whole childhood. That was your childhood. You only have one. Okay, maybe not, it might extend from your childhood. Don't let their bad behaviors ruin it all. Your life, your memories, and, I know feeling nostalgic, that can bring about some bad things. You might want to, you're feeling nostalgic, and then you might want to just go and talk to them. After going no contact, I found that it's not a good idea. But that's just me. I can't give anybody any advice. Read the disclaimer in the description box below this video on YouTube. Anyway, let me see what else I wrote. And I wrote something like, why always think about what they were doing then instead of you? Yeah. Why do you think about, if I've done this, think about what they were doing at a time instead of what was I doing at that time. Not anything, it doesn't have to be anything bad or good, just what was I doing? And I wrote that you have a right to your memories and not wrong memories. I don't know. Some of my notes, I need to learn how to, I'm not going to ever learn how to make better notes. Yeah. So I might as well not even tell myself to do that. I could work on it, but yeah. Anyway. Okay, now to move on to another one. This one was about when, some people wonder, and I can see this, like, you go no contact with your family, and of course you're still going to have some feelings. I could go down the sociobiological explanation of that. Wow, you would have feelings for people who you really, family members who you really just, you just can't stand them. But, and some people will go down this thing and wonder, are they thinking of you? Do they ever think about you? Do they ever think maybe that, you can go down that line and say, do they ever think that maybe they should apologize to you or something? But do they ever think of you? And, now I don't know the answer to that, of course. Does anybody? But, I don't think so. But my thought is it's kind of a bit like out of sight, out of mind for them. If they're these dysfunctional people, the kinds I have seen in my life, it's kind of like, if they're not gaining from you, it's not kind of like, it really has been. If they're not gaining something from you, if they're not able to get something from you, whether it's just their ego boost or someone to take their stuff out on, money, anything, if they're not gaining something from you, that no, you're out of sight, out of mind. They've moved on to their next victim, their next target and their next victim. And but if you're around, however, yeah, they're going to think about you. But in my experience is thinking about you of how they're going to use you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't really. If you're going to no contact, I would think it's something you're going to go through. You're going to wonder, do they think about me? Do they ever, have the same kind of memories I have? Good, bad, ugly, whatever. But some of them were good. Or was theirs all about just what they could get? You see? So various topics about dysfunctional families. Here's another one. And this one is about adult sibling rivalry. Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, when you're adults, I'm not talking about when you're still kids, but of course, that is where it can start. And especially if parents play favorites, this one has this favorite and that one has that favorite, or they both have the same favorite. Or, I mean, it can be that way. They both have the same favorite, and each one of them has another favorite. Yeah, that can happen. And then it brings about some sibling rivalry. If a parent always says this one, oh, look, they've done so much, they've done this, and they do that. Some of them do this on purpose. Something really, like, they get a sick thrill out of causing trouble between their children. Yeah. And anyway, but this one I wrote in my notes says, when the parents are both deceased. Okay, so basically they're orphans, but they're adults. My parents are both deceased. And so the sibling rivalry as adults, and what happens then when both parents are deceased? Now, I've seen this as it happens. It's not going to be nothing is going to be the same way for everybody. Nothing will be. Yeah. So it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. But what I have noticed is that, like, if, say the parent had, the parents, like I said, favorites, that whole thing. What happens when the parents are dead, that have died, that the ones that were used to being so important to one parent, being the favorite, or more than one, they try to be a favorite of somebody in the family, a sibling. That is what I've seen. They try to be the one that the sibling, even if it was the sibling that they abused, the scapegoat, the black sheep, they will want to be that favorite. They will want to be the one that one looks up at, up to, or not even looks up to, but gives them attention like that parent, parent or parents had. See what I'm saying? I have a whole bunch more notes. At least I got through some of them, and I need to catch up with all these notes that I have on different topics. Like, I have plenty on narcissism, and from there. But we'll see. I've been saying this for how many years now? Eventually I'm going to get caught up, right? And just make more. Anyway, like I said, I'll make more. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, and if you have any comments, just leave them below. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.